All right, y'all, we are back with another video with a little bit more editing effort in this video and hopefully in the rest from here on out, hopefully. So obviously, like the title says, we'll be mainly talking about the Age of the Prime SUPERION that I finally was able to get my hands on, put together, and man, that was actually pretty difficult for me. Like, before I got SUPERION and before I got all the aerial bots that combined into SUPERION, the only real transforming figures that I had at that point was Age of the Prime's Grimlock with the instead of like the gray and gold, it's the blue and gold colorway. You should know. I'll put a picture up on there, or I should put a picture up on there. And he was still more of a more recent pickup. And then before him, I got like a small Ratchet figure. I don't know which series, like not series, but I don't know which like line, toy line or whatever he was from. But I never transformed him. I prefer Ratchet in his robot mode, so I never bothered to turn him into an ambulance. And I had Skylinks from the Earthrise series, that the one that's on Netflix. I watched it a little bit ago, and then I immediately fell in love with them. But I got Skylinks, and I just now figured out when I was writing this that he splits into two. Like, he splits into like a top half that has like that's more of like a bird, and then like the bottom half that's like a big cat, I guess. I had no idea. And I've had this figure, like I've had Skylinks for like months. Like, I transformed him into his plain mode, and then I transformed him into his regular, regular combined mode. And then I was watching a video I watched the video on him because, again, like, I haven't watched, you have to excuse me because I haven't watched the G1 Transformers, like the OG 80s cartoon and beyond. So the Earthrise depiction of Skylinks was my first time ever being introduced to the character. So yeah, like once I got introduced to him, once I watched the episodes that he was in, I loved him. Like, I loved how he was really cocky, and then when he got banished, like, he gained a bunch of wisdom, and then he helped Optimus. Like, I think they were like stuck in space or something. I don't really remember. It's been a while since I watched the show, but I just remember him being like a really wise character that was like kind of a light for Optimus when they were like in a rough time. And because of that, like, I fell in love with the dude. Pause. Okay, hold up. Sorry. So yeah. But I also saw a little bit of him. I also saw a little bit of Skylinks in the Transformers Autocracy series that I read a little bit ago. The one, it's like Autocracy, Monstrosity, and then Primacy, which is another goated like story, like a goated comic story, bro. That, oh my gosh, that was like peak writing. That was peak writing. But if y'all haven't read that, I encourage you to watch it. Because I know a lot of people. Well, the biggest thing we're out right now is the Skybound Transformers run, which is also amazing. We're gonna get into that a little bit later. But to stay on topic, those were the first two times that I ever saw Skylinks, because I just never I haven't got around to watching the G1, the original G1 show. Also, I picked up some comics the other day that I do plan to go over on this channel. I told you guys, like in a previous video, that I'm trying to switch up the content to where I'm integrating more stuff that I enjoy instead of just coming on here and randomly talking. The issues that I picked up from that comic book store were issues 2, 3, and 4 of this Predator Black, White, and Blood series. I've never read it. It seems cool. Like, the covers, when I went into the store and I looked at the covers were so dope. And that's like what I go off of. Like, it's like when you pick up a regular book and you read the back of it and it gives you like a quick little synopsis of what's going on, or like, you know, quick little main idea of what's going on. For me, it's the cover. Like, if the cover looks clean, I'm gonna give it a try. I'm gonna read it. So it looks dope, so I had to cop it. I also got Gunslinger Spawn issues 32, 31, 28, 25, and 20. I wanted to read this series for a while, especially because I remember seeing like a TikTok video where a dude was ranking like his top 10 gunslingers, and Spawn was there, and I was like, what? Spawn's a... I mean, like, I know Spawn has guns, but I didn't know they made like a Wild West version of him, you know what I mean? So I was like, I definitely got to read that. And I haven't even read Spawn. Like, I haven't read a single Spawn comic, so this is gonna be my first ever like Spawn comic that I'm actually reading. So I'm excited to go over that one too. But yeah, I knew I had to, like, I forgot the spot that he was on there, but like once he was up there in the top 10, I was like, yeah, I gotta check that out. Because the Wild West themes, they're usually pretty dope. And then he had him up there with Trigun. So I was like, yeah, this dude, not Trigun. He had him up there with Vash. My bad. He had Spawn up there with Vash. So I'm like, okay, this dude might know some ball. He might know ball. So I'm gonna have to check it out. I'm gonna have to check it out for myself. And then I got Nova Rising from Annihilation. Issues 1, 3, 4, and 15. And you might be wondering, like, why the skip from 1, 3, 4, and then why the skip to 15? It's because the cover that I got, the Silver Surfer was on it, and I was like, that's clean. That's clean. So I was like, I gotta get it. It's not in order. I'm gonna read it in order, but the cover was clean, and I was like, I don't want to risk. Apparently, this is a run from like 2006, so I was like, I don't want to risk leaving, reading it, coming back for it, and then it's not here. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna just go ahead and get it. So this is gonna be my first time ever reading anything with the character Nova. I've always liked his design. I just never got around to like fully checking out the character and fully figuring out like what his gimmick is. So yeah. Okay, rant's over. So the first aerial bot that I got was Silverbolt. I was actually lucky enough to get him in person. The rest of the aerial bots, I had to order them through Amazon because I could not find them at any other store. So here's Silverbolt. Next we have Fireflight. Fireflight is pretty, like, I like his plane design. I think that his bot design is pretty mid. It was actually Silverbolt that encouraged me to go ahead and get all of the figures to put SUPERION together. So y'all gotta thank Silverbolt for this, because if it wasn't for him, this would not have happened. But yeah, so I'm gonna just show y'all how all of them looked in the box, and then I'm gonna show you how they looked in their robot forms, plane forms, and then what they look all together. Next, we have Air Raid, Slingshot, and Skydive. And out of all of the aerial bots, Slingshot has to be my favorite design. Like, I love his design. I'm actually a little sad because he did get, spoilers, but he did get slimed out Skybound issue of Transformers back when Daniel Warren Johnson was still doing the art. Like, bro got blasted off of the arm of SUPERION, and then I'm pretty sure Megatron crushed his head. So I don't think he's coming back, but he's my favorite design. I love him the most. Pause. Like, I love the spaceship looking. I just like his jet mode. I like everything about that character. Okay, here's all of them in their robot modes for the most part, except for Silverbolt. This is basically what they look like straight out the box. I didn't bother with posing them up because I was so excited to just put them all together and combine them into SUPERION. So, and I wasn't gonna like do it for scale. You'll have to watch like another video or something if you want the scale of it. There's a lot of good videos out there. But here's all of them in their robot form except for Silverbolt. I did not transform Silverbolt because I just wasn't thinking of it at the time. It literally slipped my mind, and now looking back at it, I'm like, dang, I have no footage of Silverbolt in his robot form. So sorry about that. But again, there are videos out there. You can look up images if you want to see how he looks in that mode. Yep. And here are all of them in their flight modes, which I did enjoy doing. Again, Slingshot, I love his the most. I love his robot design. I love his flight design. He's my most favorite designed aerial bot. I take back what I said earlier. I lied. So I do have all of them in robot form and all of them posed up. Again, I'm recording this like a week or 2 weeks after I did all this. I'm doing the voiceover of the footage like some time out after, And I did have them all in robot form. There's Ratchet, there's the Grimlock that I was talking about, and there is Skylinks. And there's Slingshot in his robot form. So I apologize for earlier. I do have them all in their robot form. And I did have them all scaled up to the figures that I already had. So just completely disregard what I said already. But yeah, they all look pretty nice. Let me know which one is you guys' favorite. Slingshot was mine. And here he is. Here he is. SUPERION in the flesh. He looks great. He looks amazing. My first ever combiner, and I don't regret getting him at all. Hasbro did a really good job designing this dude. Everything went together smoothly once I could finally figure out how to do it. But I like it. There he is next to Grimlock, Ratchet, and the Lego Optimus Prime that you guys saw in the back there. And I also have some footage of him behind or next to my 3-0 figures. My 3-0 Rise of the Beast Optimus and my 3-0 Bumblebee movie Soundwave. Putting this dude together was annoying. I'm not gonna lie. It was annoying because again, this is my first combiner, and with those directions, man, the reading comprehension devil was attacking me like his life depended on it, because I could not. I had to watch a couple of videos when I was putting them together. I could not figure out how to do some things on my own, but even still, he was on the simpler side. I think that was just me not being, you know, too used to it, or just not having as much experience with transforming figures and stuff. But I like him. Overall, he turned out really good, and I don't regret it. I don't regret getting him. I'm hoping that I can get my hands on Devastator and make him my next combiner, and even in the future, not soon, probably the distant future, get my hands on all of the Hasbro figures for Bruticus, because I already have Brawl and Onslaught pre-ordered. So hopefully I can do a video about that in the future. And that's pretty much it for the video. Again, thank you guys for bearing with me. The camera that I got did really well. I love the footage. Hopefully I get to push out more stuff like this in the future. I have the Lego Soundwave like I mentioned earlier, and I want to do a video where I build that and then time lapse it and then talk over it, so you guys can watch me put the Soundwave together while I'm talking about something random. So let me know what you guys thought. Let me know if you would like me to add anything or any ideas that I should incorporate in the future to these videos. And I just hope you guys enjoyed. I wanted to do like the thing that I've seen other creators do, where they go over the articulation, they go over like the joints and stuff of the figures, but I'm not skilled enough to do that yet. So, but hopefully in the future, that's something that I can do for you guys, because the Ratchet joint sounds they sounded so good. And I would like to do stuff like that, similar to what other creators do, but I also want to have my own little spin and twist on it. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the video, but let me know what you thought in the comments, and y'all take it easy. It's good to see y'all.